a really good voice.
He does? Every mom has something to say about it.
I'm not bragging.
Show him.
I promise.
Show them.
No, they're gonna see.
What grade is he?
4th grade.
I'm gonna talk to you. She's in charge of your son's
Oh,
But you get a check.
Hi, ladies.
Okay.
Girls.
Girls.
Oh man.
Okay. This week's shiur, we're doing it regarding the parasha. So last parasha we read Vaygash, this parasha we're going to read Vayechi. What are these parashot teaching us? Imagine to yourself a special airplane comes to JFK. Here in America, you know, it's the biggest country, it's let's say the richest country in the world, and a special guest is coming. The father of the vice president is coming from overseas to visit his son here in America. Special event, special celebration. They make sure all the politicians are coming, people from the White House, or congressmen, and all kind of officials. And they're all gathering, they're preparing a red carpet for him. He's a special guest. And the vice president is waiting. He didn't see his father for many years. And when eventually they open the doors of the airplane, they see an old man is coming from there. You probably understand what is the situation. We're talking about Yaakov meeting his son Yosef after so many years. For 22 years they didn't see each other. It's a long time. Never heard of him. Didn't know if he's alive. Then he comes to meet him. A lot of people wait to see what's going to be that moment. It's exciting. It's a very emotional moment when they want to see how exactly they will hug each other, how exactly what they would say to each other. What do we see something interesting? That when Yaakov meets his son, first of all he comes out of the plane, he doesn't look so happy. Why not? You see your son, aren't you happy to see him? Doesn't seem so happy. He looks thoughtful, looks not certain about something. And as he comes out, it says that Yosef is leaning on him, crying. He's very emotional, and Yaakov not. Yaakov decided that at that moment he wants to say Shema Yisrael. Why are you saying Shema Yisrael out of all the moments? You know, you have half an hour from now, I don't know, 15 minutes from now. Why now you have to say Shema Yisrael? What exactly Yaakov tries to show us by this kind of an act? So yes, as he comes to the United States, or as he comes to Mitzrayim, to Egypt, so we know that financially he won't have a problem. His son is the vice president. His sons are all around him. It's not like one son is here, one son is there. Now all are around him. They are living in a special section in Egypt. Eretz Goshen was given to Sarah when she was taken to Paro, and Paro wanted to release her because he couldn't. And so he gave her a present, this place, and this present was given now to Yosef and his family. So they're sitting separately over there. They don't mingle with the Egyptians. Why is he so worried? Because the minute that he comes, to us, normal people, it looks like when you come to America, Baruch Hashem. We came from Russia, okay? Or people who came from, I don't know, places that financially it was hard, this problem, you had all kind of things. Now it's relief, now it's easier, now it's okay. And you say to yourself, okay, I see my Mashiach. You know, it's good for me. Why not? Yaakov doesn't look at it this way. For him, he got into the exile, to the galut. Galut, you know, you have so much money there, you have assets there, you have whatever you want over there, your kids are around you. Why are you calling it a galut? In his eyes, it's a galut. He's afraid. He doesn't know what's going to be the future, how his kids are going to stay Jewish in this kind of a place. He sees Yosef and he doesn't know if he stayed Jewish all this time, if he stayed, you know, innocent and holy all this time. You know, he left his house when he was 17 in his teenage years. Young boy, beautiful boy, comes to a place where there's no values, where they don't care about anything. He's a slave over there. They could abuse him physically, verbally, sexually. Who else was going to be with this kind of a beautiful, beautiful boy that is all alone? You know, no family, no nothing. Upset at his family, could be very bitter, could be upset at the whole world, right? And when he sees him, when he sees that he stayed this holy Yosef HaTzadik, this is when he says thanks to Hashem. Not only this, they said that at that moment he says Kriyat Shema. What exactly he wants to show Yosef and all his brothers? He says, listen, I don't want you to think that we stay here forever. We are temporary over here. The fact that we know that when he died, he wanted his son, he made Yosef swear to him that he's going to bury him in Israel, not in Egypt, because he didn't want them to stay there forever. And by saying Shema Yisrael at that moment, he shows him that no matter what, we have to stick to our Jewish values. See, all these people looking at him as he comes from the airplane or as he comes from this chariot or wherever he comes from, he doesn't care what the Egyptians are thinking of him at that moment. He thinks of his own, what he wants to teach his own children. He tells them, don't lose your Jewish values. Be proud with them. Don't be afraid. Don't lose your Jewish identity, because that's what counts. So, in our eyes, it's like, okay, today or years ago or at that time in the Egyptians' time, what's so special about Israel or going back to Israel? Israel cannot offer anything to us, you know, no money, no food. It's a famine over there, right? No drinks, no jobs, no nothing. But in the acts of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and our Avot and Imah, they teach us differently. Whatever sometimes seems good, it looks good, in the eyes of the Torah, it's the opposite. And sometimes what looks so bad, sometimes it is for the best of us. So what's good and what's bad? Being in, Yaakov calls being in Egypt as a galut, which is the richest country right now, that can offer the most right now. And Israel, or going out of Egypt, is a redemption. Going out of Egypt is a redemption? When Israel left Egypt, where exactly did they go to? To the desert. What's in the desert exactly? Nothing. In the desert, there's a lot of sun, it's hot, there's a lot of bad animals. It says, Rabbi Yosef ben Rabbi Hanina, I think, says that they had such huge snakes in the desert that these snakes could swallow up a whole person in one shot. You know, nothing thinking twice. And the Jewish people were in this desert for 40 years, you know, with all these bad animals, with all this heat, not even knowing where exactly they're going. And for them, it's a redemption. For them, it's living from Egypt, okay? What is exactly redemption? Redemption means coming close to Hashem. Being close to Hashem, being attached to Him, being devoted to Him, accepting His laws. We accepted the Torah in Egypt, in the desert, right? That's what it means Geulah, where the opposite is being distanced from Hashem. This is what Egypt offered us, you know. Be modern, be like everybody. Don't believe in this nonsense, you know. So basically, that's what we learned from this. Shabtai Yudalevich was a great rabbi. He passed away some years ago. He used to live in Israel. One time he gives a shiur, and a student of his gets up and he says, "Rabbi, I want to ask you a question. Every week on Thursdays, I fill up the lottery, and I never win. I want Hashem to help me. I want to win the lottery. I need money. I don't have a good job. I have so many kids. I don't know what to feed them. It's so hard financially. I want to win the lottery. Please, pray for me. Tell me what to do. Bless me." So the rabbi tells him, "Let me tell you a story." And he tells him a story about a man, let's call him Yossi, okay? He lived in a village. Very small village, they were not modern in that village. He hardly knew how to read and write. He didn't know so much. But his goal was to be rich and easily. Like, he didn't want to invest or didn't want to work very hard, just wanted to be rich and fast. So he doesn't know how to do it. He heard that in the big city they sell these tickets for lottery and people can win a lot of money, millions of dollars. He doesn't know how to get there. He cannot just go there. So he asks people around what to do. He gets into the pharmacy. There was a pharmacist over there, not Jewish, and he tells him, "You know something, from time to time I do go to the big city. If you want, I can buy you a ticket." He says, "Sure, that's a good idea." He says, "Only in a condition that we split it half. If you win, we get 50-50. He thinks about that and he says, "Okay, fine. If we win, we split 50-50, not a problem." Good. He goes to the city, he buys this ticket, and to their amazement, they do win that lottery ticket. They're so happy, like $20 million that they won. For them, it's a lot of money. What are they going to do with so much money? Now they have to go to the big city together and declare that money, right? So they're excited, they're preparing their trip, and they go. He comes to the big city for the first time of his life. He was never there. He sees huge buildings, beautiful stores, malls. Who thought about such a thing in a small little village, right? and interesting foods and nice markets and businesses and offices. It's so exciting, everything. It's so nice. He says, "I have money now. I can buy many things." So him with his partner, the non-Jewish pharmacist, they go and they start to make some business. They buy another business and another thing and another, and they make a lot of money. They succeed. They do even more than they won in the lottery. So a person that is rich, okay, so he has a beautiful home, and he buys himself all kind of arts and articles and furniture and things. Why not? He's rich now. Naturally, it happens that there's no Jewish school over there. So he has no choice, and he has to send his kids to a public school. So they get the education over there. Naturally, he has to get up early. There's no minyan, and there's no really shul, and so he doesn't pay like he used to. Naturally, here and there, he misses. He's not so strict about the mitzvot, let's put it this way, as he used to be. And here, after some time, one day his daughter comes and tells him, "Abba, I want to marry this guy. It's your friend, don't be afraid. Your friend, the pharmacist guy, he's not Jewish." So what? I fell in love with him. The value of love is the most important thing, no? So he doesn't know what to do. Like, how is he going to change? What is going to... Till now, he didn't think that he has to educate them in the right way. Now that they're living in a place where there's no Jewish life, he has to be very, very careful. Didn't pay attention to this. Very interesting happens also that right at that time when she declared that she wants to get married, he made a bad business, a wrong decision, and he lost on the spot a lot of money. The next day, again, he loses money. And again, I don't know, in the period of a month, he lost everything. Become everything got turned to the other side, and instead of succeeding, he just losing. So he doesn't know what to do. People start calling him, hello, we need our money, you have to pay your debts. They start threatening him, they take him to court, he doesn't know what to do. He has no choice but to declare bankruptcy. It's a very bad situation. He was too much in stress. He didn't know what to do, and then a thought came into his mind. Maybe he would just kill himself, and that's it. He's going to put an end to all his problems. So he's thinking what to do, how to kill himself, what's the best way. Maybe to throw himself, God forbid, from a tall building. Maybe he decided that as he falls asleep, he's going to turn on this oven, gas that he had, that would spread the bad smell, and God forbid he's going to be choked by that, something like that. So he falls asleep, and after a few moments, he's awakened. He's awakened. And who awakens him? His son. All of a sudden, his son looks to him like a very young boy, not what he's now, like when he used to be in the yeshiva back in the village, very small boy. He didn't understand what happens. Then slowly it got into him. It was all a dream. It didn't really happen. He dreamt that he got rich. He dreamt all whatever happened to him. And then he gets up and he says, thank you, Hashem. My only goal was to be rich. Thank you, Hashem, that you made me rich. My only goal was to win the lottery. Thank you, Hashem. Well, because of this, my daughter, she wanted to marry a non-Jew. Because of this, I stopped keeping religion. I wasn't so religious anymore. Because of this, I didn't care about this and I didn't care about that. Now, Baruch Hashem, I see my kids. They're holy, they're pure. Hashem, please, thank you so much that my kids are still, I can trust them, they're okay. I'm happy that I don't have so much money and I don't get crazy and everything is okay and the family structure and everything is okay. So when somebody gets wealth, too much wealth, is it for his own benefit? Who knows? And when somebody, God forbid, have all kind of troubles and problems, and is it because Hashem wants to punish him? Because is it so bad? Who knows? Maybe it's for his benefit. We don't know. So this is what our chapter Levitch was trying to explain. This his students of his. You want to win a lottery, well, who knows if it's good for you? Who knows if it's a blessing for you? What can happen, God forbid, to your family? Rav Binyamin Blech, he's writing some articles. He says that once he had a student that he wanted, God forbid, to commit suicide because his girlfriend just left him. And the rabbi catches him and tries to explain him, tries to talk to him, and tries to, make him feel better and not to think about wrong decisions, and he says, don't worry, let's talk next week, and whatever. The whole night he was trying to explain him that it's not the end of the world, and maybe tomorrow will be a better day, and stuff like that. And then he didn't see him for a long time. One day he sees him in one of the lectures, and he comes to him and he says, Rabbi, do you remember me? He says, sure, I remember you. You owe me one night of sleep. I didn't sleep because of you the whole night. He says, so what's up with you? He says, I'm fine, thank you, everything is good. I want to tell you, that girl that I was dating, and I was so upset that she just broke the relationship. She became alcoholic, and God forbid, got married 3 times, got divorced 3 times. I'm so happy, I'm thanking Hashem that I didn't marry her. Baruch Hashem, I had a good wife, I have good children, everything is okay. I just want to let you know that I'm okay. So sometimes, you know, bad things happen to us and we're afraid. That's the end of it. Who knows what's going to happen? But maybe it is for our own benefit. When God created the world, every day He finished the creation, He says, "Vayar Elokim ki tov." Hashem saw that it's good. It says, in the end of the creation, okay, "Vayar Elokim et asher asat v'hineh tov me'od." Excellent, perfect, very good. What's the difference between Vayar Elokim ki tov, just good, and very good, tov me'od? What's the difference between tov and tov me'od? When we look at the things, we see that sometimes when we get abundance, when we get too much, it's not for our own benefit. Baruch Hashem, this generation, people have a lot. They don't lack things like, years ago, you had 2 or 3 pairs of shoes, that's it. You didn't have 25 or more even, you know. You had 1 coat. Sometimes people would share a coat in the family. Now you have as many as you want, the thin and the thick and this color and the other color and the fur and this, yeah, all kind of styles, all kind of, okay, if this is clothing, we're talking about cell phones, we're talking about all kind of gadgets and all kind of things in the kitchen. People had to work very hard years ago to make laundry, to create food, even to make food. It wasn't easy, you know, nothing was chopped, nothing was grinded, nothing was ready. You just don't go in the store and you just buy things ready or food to go. It was much harder this day, you know, back in time. Now it's so easy and we can get things very easy.
Still we don't have this.
And we don't have that, right? And what is it? Is it good? Is it very good? Is it bad? How is it? Basically, when this good comes without a limit, okay, without a direction, we're getting ourselves into trouble. The symbol of this time is the atom bomb. Okay, atom bomb is very destructive. We know that. Atom, initially, if you think about this, it's the foundation of the creation. Everything is built. As long as it's in its frame and it's in limits, it's a very good thing. Once the man found how to dismantle this frame, it becomes destructive. Okay? And small little material becomes explosive, becomes destroying, I don't know. God forbid. Symbol of this time is a disease that's called cancer. Okay? So, as long as we know that the cells, in a way, are also the foundation of the body, every cell, it's very important. But as long as it's in its frame and in its limit, once, God forbid, this frame is broken and they multiply themselves and they just reproduce and this is, God forbid, when this tov becomes destructive, becomes not good. God created the world in a perfection, in a beautiful way. But as long as there's a condition, as long as it's restricted. And a man, a human being, Hashem gives him whatever he wants. He lives like in heaven, Gan Eden. He's allowed. He has much more than an animal gets. He has qualities, he has the looks. Animals, you know, take all the cats. Besides colors, they all look the same. They don't have the same, they all have the same instincts, same qualities, everything. Human beings are different. The looks are different, the qualities are different, desires are different, personalities, they're different. And Hashem gives them all kind of things that they could do. They could invent. They could do so many things. But again, as long as he works with his limits, he doesn't let his desire, just destroy him. So he's okay. As long as we know the right portions for everything, right? So for this, to know what are our limits, what Hashem wants from us, what's good, what's not for good, we got the Torah. We got the mitzvot. The mitzvot restricts us, gives us, tells us what's good, what's not. When it's good, when it's not good. So basically the Torah guides us, navigates us, we get a direction. And the problem in our generation is when we throw off the yacht, when we just let ourselves, we just, I want to do something, I'll get it no matter what. And that's a problem. So today there are some principles. People want to have the freedom of speech. Fine, that's good. But for this, people can sometimes use a very bad language. They use curses, they use lashon hara, they use slander. They don't care what they say, how they say. If you're not limiting your tongue and you're allowing yourself to say anything or to hear everything, it's not good for you. Freedom of occupation, where you can work everywhere you want, do whatever you want. Some people, open, let's say, restaurants. It's kosher, it's not kosher, it's Shabbat, it's not Shabbat, it's this, it's that. People are allowing themselves to do all kind of stuff. They have to be careful. With this, today, when everything is permitted, right, and people let free all their evil inclinations, you have to be careful what exactly it will lead them to. So, these are the things that we have to be careful. The Ben Ish Chai gives a small little mashal. He says, if you have, let's say, if you grow some chickens in your backyard, if you let them loose, you want them to be free, to be comfortable, and you let them loose, what exactly happens? They disappear. Not only this, they destroy everything. They make a mess. They make dirt everywhere. They turn over everything, right? So if you want to benefit, and we do benefit the chickens, whether you use their eggs or you use their meat, it's fine. But if you limit them, if you cage them, if you put them in the cages, right? So you can limit them, you can benefit them better, right? So is, they say, in the Midrash it says, Tov Me'od. What does it mean, Tov Me'od? Sometimes suffering is Tov Me'od. Sometimes, God forbid, death is Tov Me'od. It says even Gehenom is Tov Me'od. How? The purpose of Yisurim, of suffering, is to makes the person think a little bit. What does Hashem want from me? Why did I get this? This, God forbid, disease, or this problem in my business, or this problem with my boss, or whatever the problem comes, health problem, this problem. What exactly Hashem wants from me? And you criticize yourself, you're teaching yourself, you put yourself more limits, Yeah, it's good in a way. If you go on a car and it doesn't have brakes, it's very dangerous, right? So is the person that doesn't put limits himself, could be a very, very dangerous person. And so, this is Tov Me'od. What is Gan Eden? Gan Eden, it's not the best of the best. Gan Eden is when you're not allowed to do something, it's Gan Eden. Why? When Adam and Eve came to Gan Eden, what did Hashem tell them to do? You're allowed to eat from all the trees except one tree. there were millions of trees that they could use and they could eat and enjoy, except one tree. Why did Hashem have to limit them? Why was it so important to limit them? And if he wouldn't say this, what was so special about telling them, this thing you're not allowed to use? So they say, if a person lives in this world without any stress, without any problem, without, it's not so good for him. Animals also enjoy this world, and they have instincts, and they eat, and they survive, and they live, and everything. But a man cannot really enjoy whatever he wants, the second that he wants, how many times he wants. Why? It says, "B'yom achlucha mimenu mot tamut." You're going to die if, God forbid, you're going to eat from this tree. Why is it so severe? Why is it so strong? So they say, this is the secret of Gan Eden. Hashem gives the human being a chance. With him, he feels that he's unique. Every time he passes through this tree, he decides at that moment not to eat from this because Hashem wanted him not to eat from this. Every time he makes a decision. An animal cannot decide if to do something or not. If to work on its shmirat al-lashon, they cannot do this. If to become a better animal to its friend, or to make a ches, they don't have these things. A person, a human being, every time for him it's a choice. I want to do good, I want to do bad. I want to do mitzvah, I want to do avera. It's his choice every second. He feels much better about this. He feels unique. He feels good about this. It builds his personality, basically. So this prohibition makes him everything that he does from recognition, not from an instinct, basically. So this is a man can be ben chorin, can be free. When we got the Torah, it says that Amichtav charut ala luchot. Charut was engraved on the Ten Commandments. Don't say charut, engraved, say chirut. Chirut means freedom. Hashem, by accepting the Torah, we became free people. Free people, every time we have a choice. We want to do the mitzvah, we don't want to do the mitzvah. We want to make avera, we don't want to make avera. So when somebody works on himself and prevents eating not kosher item, decides to wear longer skirt, decides, like we mentioned last week, not to eat that piece of cake, to do this diet, decides not to speak lashon hara. It's in your tongue. You really want to share something with your friend, and you decide not to do it at that moment. Decide to make a chesed. Decide whatever to work on your anger management, to work on your anger. Every time you decide to do something and you do it, right? It's for your own benefit. It's like this story about the wolf. No, the fox. The fox that came into the vineyard. He sees so many nice grapes. He starts eating and eating. But then he cannot get out because he got so full, he cannot leave that place. And when the husband comes, or the owner of the vineyard comes, he catches him right away. If he would be smart, what would he do? He would take some of these grapes and throw them from out the fence, so that when he goes out, he can really sit and enjoy. Right? We in this world, we try to get, this is exciting, this is spark and crackles, and this desire and that desire. You want a bigger home, you want more possessions, you want a different car, you want to upgrade your iPhone, you want this gadget and another skirt and another thing and for your kids and for your husband and for yourself. But what does it lead you to if all your life it's only around this? It's not a problem to have things as long as it's just a tool for you to worship Hashem in the right way. Why not? But if this is the goal, you know. So then when you come to the next world, I didn't have enough time to do the real things, you know, to work on my qualities, to make real mitzvot and stuff like that. You go there empty, like this fox. You see, we have the mitzvah of Tahat HaMishpacha, family purity. מה יש שם במצווה? למה, שואל רבי מאיר, למה נידה לשבעה? מפני שרגיל בה וקץ בה. He gets so much used to, so it's not so important. So once it's not available, once she's not available, it's more special, it's better, it's nicer. They both wait for it and they miss it. So people were built with certain wisdom. Hashem gives him the ability to choose, and the goal is that Hashem gave him good and bad, so that he oppresses his bad and encourages his good. And this is his lifetime work that he has to do. To work on our midot is not an easy task. It's sometimes you fail and fail and fail. But, and meanwhile, you have to do other things. You have to make money, you have to raise your children, you have to do this, you have to do that. But the main goal is to dedicate our life to fill up these spiritual lacks that we need. And instead of, today people are looking to conquer the North Pole, the South Pole, the moon, this planet, that galaxy. Hello, did you find where you are? Do you know what you want? People are so much obsessed with looking at what exactly is living on the moon or on the I don't know exactly what, instead of looking, at themselves, at what they need, at real stuff that he needs to work on and stuff like that. So that's what they say. Did you conquer your own evil inclination instead of